Senior Product Engineer with Intermotive. I'll be talking about the FlexTech electrical system. So first I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the system, then we'll go into diagnostic capabilities, the tools that are available to you, and then we'll run through some brief troubleshooting scenarios and look at a configuration summary. So here's the system. A few modules here on the right. Every system starts with the PRPC, Programmable Relay Power Center. That's the module that connects to the vehicle, and we interface with the vehicle networks, get all kinds of vehicle data, and allow the designer to use that data and logic for any number of the outputs on the system. So you start with that system, or that module, and then you add in an EXP, which is our expander board, or a switch backer board, which interfaces directly to the switch bank on the vehicle. Every other module in the FlexTech system connects to the PRPC with the LIN harness. So that's a single wire serial communication, 0 to 12 volts. And so none of those other modules, they don't get any vehicle data. They're taking commands from the PRPC for their outputs and reporting status of their inputs and outputs. And so they can be mounted remotely, and the PRPC is the only one that connects to the vehicle. On the bottom right, you can see a panel there. That's the what we call the gateway panel. So that is for the wheelchair interlock and fast idle. So once you plug that into the LIN communication to the PRPC, that enables the interlock and fast idle. We'll talk about that in depth. So here is the first module in the system, the PRPC. I talked about it a little bit already. It's the master of the FlexTech system. Oops. So this is the module that contains the configuration. All of the logic is in this module, and it commands all of the other modules to turn on their outputs. It's got 8 relays. So there's 4 dual package relays up top. You can see a bunch of fuses to the output pins on top of the board. And then 8 low current outputs, and those are the FETs. So they're smart MOSFETs. They have over temperature, over current protection. Here's a more detailed view of the connectors. Thing to note here, sort of mentioned it already, the top half of the board, that's your high current. So in the middle of the board, you've got that lug, which brings in 12 volts and feeds it to the 4 relays. You can see the 4 packages there, like 4 relay packages, 2 each. Then they run through the fuses and out to the larger connectors up on the top. The bottom half of the board is the logic. So that's where the processor, the inputs, the low current outputs are. Another thing to note on this module, the bottom right, that is the LIN connector. So it's a 4 wire cable. You've got the serial communication I was talking about, the LIN cable, or the LIN wire. You've got ground, 5 volts, and 12 volts. The gateway panel, so you can see the door ajar indicates the status of the lift door. Park brake, park, shift lock LED to indicate when our module has control of the shifter, is locking it. Vehicle secure indicates power to the lift. And then on the left hand side you see a APHIS active LED, so that's going to be when our module is elevating the base idle. Next module in the system is the switch backer board. This one will be located near the bank of switches. And then, so it has a LIN connection to PRPC. The PRPC will be most likely located in the electrical panel up to the left of the driver's head. The LIN cable runs down the A pillar, and then the switch backer board is close to the bank of switches, so sometimes it will be down below, right behind the switches, or it could be overhead. This module supports up to 8 switches. So 2 of the switches can have up to 3 inputs, and the other 6 have only a single input. In addition, there's 4 general purpose inputs. All the inputs on this board are active low, and all of the outputs are active high. Sourcing. So there's 6 general purpose outputs plus 8 more half-amp outputs. Here to connect the headers on the SBB. Note the main power and ground on J2, and an onboard fuse, 10 amp fuse there. Down on the lower right-hand portion of this board, you have 2 LIN headers. That allows you to daisy chain the modules. So you've got a single LIN cable coming in, and then you can jump another LIN cable to another module. This is a redesigned version of the switch backer board, so it's all the same features in a much smaller package. And this one you may be seeing soon. So the only difference between this and the original switch backer board is that the inputs are actually active high on this board. The expansion board, so I mentioned earlier you start with the PRPC module. If you need more outputs than that, you can add on these other modules, a switch backer board to interface with the switches, or you can add on an expansion board that provides more high current outputs. You get 4 more relays at 10 amp max, plus 4 more LCOs that are 1 amp max, 4 general purpose inputs. And once again, this module connects to the PRPC programmable relay power center via LIN, and that's up the top right of that board. So now that I've introduced you to all of the modules in the FlexTech system, you start with PRPC, you can add on these other modules, SBB. There can be up to 2 SBBs in a single system. They have an ID shunt on there, address 0 or address 1. There can also be up to 2 EXPs in the system. And then you add on that gateway panel to enable the lift and high idle functions. Now we'll talk about the diagnostic capabilities that are included with the FlexTech system, and then I'll move on to how you can use those diagnostic capabilities to troubleshoot various scenarios. So as you start to diagnose the system, or look at any kind of issue with the FlexTech system, you want to start at the PRPC. It's got all the power there, so all of your LED diagnostics, your fault codes, that's where you're going to find that PRPC. And on this module, you can see on the left-hand side there's a red button there. That's the test button. So when you hit that button, it'll put you into as you press the button, if you hold it down, these LEDs will light up, the fuse LEDs. These are processor-controlled LEDs. So the first LED is going to light up as you hold it. That's indicating you're on page 1. If you release it, it enters that page. So you're on page 1. Press it again, you're going to increment up to page 2. The next LED lights up as long as you hold down the button. If you release it, you're going to enter that page. You can just press it as many times as you need to increment to different diagnostic pages. I'll talk about what each page does. On each of the pages, these fuse LEDs take on different meanings. So there's a multitude of diagnostics you can perform just by using these diagnostic pages. Once you're on the last page, if you press it one more time, it exits. So all the LEDs go off. In any diagnostic page, so if you're in diagnostics, there is an amber LED next to the word status on the module, and that indicates the page you're on, so it'll blink once if you're on page 1 for the PRPC LCO status. Right below that status LED, there's a red fault LED, and that indicates the highest priority fault, the current highest priority fault. So, if there's no fault there, the fault LED is going to flash, but it'll flash a 111, which is status OK. It'll alternate between flashing out the diagnostic page you're on, and then the red LED flashes out the current highest priority fault. So if you had a full system, two switch backer boards, you have PRPC, 2 switch backer boards connected via LIN, you have 2 expansion modules. Every low current output in the system has a unique code. So if you have a short on wiring, if there's some issue with any output in the system, you can go to PRPC, pull the fault code, and it would tell you exactly what output has a fault. So you can go directly to the module, say it's with the SDB, go directly to the module, know exactly what pin that output is on. I've got a problem with that output. And then you can move from there, check the wiring, look for shorts, all of that stuff. In addition, there's fault codes for LIN communication. So if you've lost LIN communication with any module in the system, you can pull a fault code for that and know I'm having trouble communicating with one of the modules. That's one of the scenarios we'll talk about later. So we'll talk about the procedure to work through that issue. A full list of the fault codes is in the instructions, and those can be found on our website, intermotive.net.